hello. Welcome back to the Gay Racing Podcast in 2024. Zach and Alex are back with you for another wonderful season of the Gay Racing Podcast. Bigger and better than ever, by the way. I mean,
my gosh, lots of upgrades.
Look at us. We have done so much with this podcast, including, well, you can look at us now if you are on YouTube. So, hi.
Yes. You can see the most beautiful podcast hosts in the world. You can actually see us.
The hottest NASCAR
with your own
podcasters that there are. And I'm going to be, well, Denny Hamlin also has a podcast, so I don't know.
True.
Second hottest.
We're second. We're at least second.
Yeah. I don't know. Dale Jr.'s kind of. Anyway.
Dale's got it.
Dale's got it. He's not for everyone, but
I'm so excited about having video because now people can see your reactions and my reactions.
Every time I get up out of my chair because you say something crazy, y'all can see the money I've spent on my collection of racing. Because if you're new here or if you forgot, I just moved into this house like a few months ago. I got my own office space, and behind me I've got all my racing collection, and it's been really fun to put together. And yeah, and it's just just good energy all around. Alex, you even have like a new little space behind you, and it looks super cute.
Yeah. Since we decided to do video, I'm like, I'm gonna make a little spot in my living room. Just a little cute little this corner in my living room. So
yeah,
it's fun. But yeah, if you're on Spotify or Apple, nothing's changing for you. If you like that, that's all cool.
Yeah, if you're driving in your car and you're just listening to us.
Yeah, don't go on YouTube if you're in your car right now, please.
I need to see these hot podcast hosts.
Do that when you're home.
Home.
But as you can tell, or as you can hear, depending where you are, we're on YouTube now, and you might be able to see some highlight videos over on TikTok. You never know. That might be a thing. Or Instagram or Twitter. We're still on all that. There is a TikTok account at Gay Racing Pod. If you're listening on audio and you're like, wait, I can see these beautiful boys on my screen? Yeah, YouTube.
Yep.
Look us up on Gay Racing Pod. It'll be in the description. We might not show up because it's like a new channel, but eventually it'll show up.
The algorithm will get us up there.
And
if it doesn't,
it'll become an ally. We're going to make the algorithm an ally.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But that's one thing that we're doing, Zach. That's one of the big upgrades we're doing.
Just one thing. And another like kind of new thing that we're going to try to kind of do this year is we are going to start a Patreon because, well, you see, since we're on camera now and we're very hot, if you notice though, I haven't shaved my beard yet and I need new razors. So like, you know, if you want me to have a nice clean shaven face, look even hotter, then just support us on Patreon. We're gonna start at $5 a month, and not only will I have a shaved beard, but we have a lot of bonus content planned that if you're on Patreon, you're gonna be the first people to see it. We're gonna do tier lists related to racing. We're gonna show off our collection like up close, like show all the little things, our favorite cars, whatever. Other ideas. I might even nerd about how Splatoon and NASCAR have a lot in common. So I
want to know more about that.
I'm very excited about that because it's a lot more creative for us, right? Because what we do on the podcast now is, the racing stuff happens. We talk about it. It's a lot of reactionary content or reactionary to stuff that happened, but with these bonus episodes, we're going to get to be a lot more creative, and I'm just really excited about that because I've dabbled in a little bit of, YouTube before, like YouTube style content. So, I mean, so if you're able to, please support us on Patreon. We will really appreciate it, and we're going to make it worth it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And by no means is it like required.
Oh, no.
If you want to see this bonus content, it's all going to end up on YouTube. No. This is basically just a way for you guys, if you would like to support us, because it's expensive out there. It's rough. It is rough. We are both in our mid-20s. You're in your mid-20s now, by the way, Zach.
Shut up. No, I'm 23. I'm still like early 20s, right?
Okay, you're like in your last year of.
I'm in my last like months. Like I turned 24.
Oh, that's
March.
right.
Then I'm in my mid-20s.
I'm the mid-20. I'm 25.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, support us, man. It's rough. If you can,
Yeah.
all jokes aside, like it's just for an option if you guys would like
So we
to.
put a lot of
And
time into this, and what we
we
love it.
do.
Don't get me wrong, we love it, but like
Oh, I love this podcast more than anything. It is my passion. It's with my favorite person in the world, you,
mhm.
Zack. And yeah, and I love our listeners. So yeah, if you'd like to, it's $5 a month on Patreon. And yeah, if you don't want to, if you can't, that's perfectly fine. That bonus content will end up on YouTube later on. And it's basically like Zack said, it's just gonna be content that doesn't really fit a podcast format.
Yeah.
Like that we want to like experiment with. Think of like the hot tea cup, if you remember that from last year.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a part two, season 2 of that. That'll be one of those episodes that it just doesn't really work in just audio, you
Yeah.
know, that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, we have a heck of a season ahead of us, right? Another NASCAR season, which I mean, what Alex last year, we both kind of fell back in love with NASCAR. Ryan Blaney's the
yeah,
defending champion. Kyle
that's
Larson's
crazy.
still really good. I mean, what our boys got 1 and 2 in the championship, right? Yeah. So,
Yeah,
man, we
yep.
are just on. We are
Hey,
peaking right now. Oh my gosh.
and Joseph Newgarden won the Indy 500.
Yeah,
Let's not
that's the
forget.
only thing he did, but
You
hey, I'll
shut
take it.
up. And speak of the Indy 500, Zack, big year for us. We're both going to that
I'm going to my
together. You're
first
gonna come
ever
with me this
I'm
time.
going to my first ever Indy 500 with Alex. I'm very excited about that in May. So
Oh my
we
God,
have a we have a really
guys,
cool year coming up
Zack was so excited at Iowa.
to watch
He's gonna like
practice.
pass out at Indy. I'm gonna need like a doctor with like I'm gonna need something. Like he's gonna be freaking out. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, I cannot wait. I cannot
Yeah,
wait.
it's going to be a big deal. So, yeah, I mean, and so today's episode is, I guess we're ready to get into that, is we're going to catch up on all the off-season tea because we haven't recorded this November. So, there's been so much off-season tea that we have to talk about with the new TV deal for NASCAR, which is a little bit controversial. We'll take a look at like the Chili Bowl. Also, what have we been doing in the off season, right? Because that's always kind of a
Yeah.
talk about, what do you do in the off season without NASCAR? How do you spend your Sundays? So we're gonna talk about all that, get caught up on all the rumors and the tea, and get ready for next week's Rolex 24, our first like big race of the season.
Oh,
So
can't wait.
yeah, that's gonna be really cool. I love this time of year. This time of year, it's like
Me too.
because I start looking forward to spring and I start looking forward to
Hmm.
racing. It makes me really hopeful for life and for like everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good time of year.
Yeah. And then like Clash, that's really soon. The Clash is really soon.
That's in
Then it's
2
like
weeks.
NASCAR's
Yeah.
here until November. So like
Forever. Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed your Sundays off because nope. Yeah.
But before we kind of get into all the tea, many of you probably saw this, but we were interviewed by Jalopnik. Our friend Elizabeth Blackstock reached out to us and asked to do an interview with us, talk about the podcast, the friendship, and goals we have for the podcast. You're seeing a lot of the fruition of those goals today. Like we wanted to do, we did that interview sometime in the summer,
Yeah. It was like Pride
and
Month, I think.
yeah, and we were telling her like, yeah, we want to do video, we want to do this, we'd like to try and make it more of a career kind of a thing. That's why you're seeing like a Patreon. So looking back on that article, we've already done a lot of the things we said we wanted to do. Like this is the first step of that today. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, we're here. Look at us
Yeah.
go. Now we just got to keep going. But yeah, thank you so much, Elizabeth Blackstock. Slay of the week. First one to Elizabeth
Slay of
Blackstock.
the week, first
Because
one of 2024, Elizabeth Blackstock. Yep. Thank you so much. Angela Opnick, of
yeah,
course.
of course. Like that was so cool. And I shared that with a lot of friends. Like that's so cool. Like we were interviewed and
We
we're
had an
like in a
article written
major
about us.
outlet.
Who can say that they've
Yeah.
had an article written about them for good reasons? For
Not everyone. Not everyone can
Not
say
everyone.
that.
Some NASCAR drivers can't relate. So,
But if you haven't read that yet, we'll put the link of that in the description for whatever platform you're on. It'll be down there somewhere. But yeah, so Zack, let's talk about our off season. You did one thing, I did another.
did I? Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
A lot of
What'd
gaming.
you do?
I fully delved into my other hobby of gaming. In fact, so my office, as you guys can see behind me if you're watching, I have racing stuff. Well, if you look in front of me, there's gaming stuff on the wall. And there's a whole cabinet of like gaming collectibles and stuff. And obviously this is also my gaming setup. So it's like gaming is literally the other half of me that's besides racing. So
there are two wolves inside Zack.
There are
racing and gaming.
Literally the yin and yang of Dreamy Zack, right? I have a whole nother Twitter about gaming too. Like that's why if you've ever
just drop the GP.
Yeah, if you I know it's racing now, remember? I rebranded.
Oh yeah,
I need to stop doing that, but well, you know. But yeah, so I've been playing of course Splatoon. Splatoon's like my favorite game. It's a multiplayer third-person shooter, best one that there is on Nintendo Switch. Been playing a little bit of kind of just a little bit of everything. I've been delving into my backlog a little bit. I've played the Spider-Man games, Miles Morales and then Spider-Man 2 because I played the first Spider-Man game like a few years ago. And the other games were just sitting in my backlog. And over my winter break, I was like, well, let me get these games. Let me get these games, done. And they were fantastic. Fantastic. Some of the best games I've ever played. I loved it. Good time. And now I'm working on Red Dead Redemption 2. That's also my backlog. Ooh, I've had that game since it came out, but I didn't get that far in it. And now I'm getting pretty far in it. The story's actually really good. It's fun to just adventure around, interact with the characters, and everyone talks like this. There's this guy named Dutch in the game.
So they talk like all the NASCAR drivers.
There's this guy named Dutch in the game, and the way he says the main character's name, it goes like, Arthur, come on, Arthur. He sounds like a walrus. Like, if y'all, anyways, that's irrelevant. But yeah, I've been gaming. That's it. And like decorating my office space because it did not look like this in November when we ended the podcast. It did not look like this. I've gotten stuff.
We didn't have video, and behind him he had this giant lamp and looked like Jesus was coming in behind him.
Yeah, I looked like Jesus. It was bad.
That wall was blank, and it was rough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was echoey. Yeah.
Now you
were struggling.
I have 2 cabinets. Good now. I have stuff on the walls. I have a rug in here. I put like a little thing. I put a little blanket on my recliner, so it's just so comfy and cozy in here. I love spending time in here.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what have I been up to? Well, let me tell you.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I got fixated on the NFL.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know. I need that.
Is this the gay racing podcast? I don't know if you knew this, but this is the gay racing podcast.
But listen, Gays have a reason to watch now because Taylor Swift goes to all the Chiefs games.
You're right. And you live in KC, so like
I do.
You literally have the best team in the area. You have the best team in the NFL. It doesn't matter if they win games or not, but they are the best team.
Yeah. Like I live in the Kansas City area, if you didn't know that, and it was just she starts going to all the games. So now, like I was already kind of invested. Like I would watch the playoffs every year. And she starts going, I'm like, oh my God, like that's crazy. My sister's a big Taylor fan. And, the Chiefs are here. So I started watching them more and more. But, Zach, it's gotten to a point. I watched damn near every playoff game so far. Like, not even just Chiefs games. I'm watching, last night, I watched, the Ravens versus Texans game. I don't know anything about either team, but I was watching it,
I like the Ravens. I like the Ravens. They're purple.
That's near you.
It's it's like Baltimore or something. So yeah, that's near me.
Yeah, it's Baltimore. But I don't know, man. I'm into it, and I was texting other friends, like comparing and contrasting the broadcast with like NASCAR broadcasts.
Oh, that's fun to do.
And if you can believe it, Fox is still my least favorite. Not in commentary though. I actually like their commentary. Their graphics is terrible.
Don't they have the comic book stuff in the NFL too?
Yeah.
Stop doing that. Maybe they'll maybe they'll quit it this year, but I doubt it because I think they just carry over their NFL stuff to the NASCAR season.
But let me tell y'all something. Mike Tirico does NBC's play-by-play.
The king.
I didn't know he did that.
Oh, I didn't know he had that dog in him. Wait, what?
Right?
Oh.
I was like, Mike Tirico has that dog in him.
Oh.
He is my favorite. He is phenomenal at it, in my opinion. I love him.
I feel like
I thought he was just pre-show host.
Yeah, because even for the Olympics, when he would do stuff like that, he was just at a desk. I don't think he really did that stuff for the Olympics. Maybe he did. I don't know. But I did not know that. Okay, Mike.
Right? That's
All
yeah.
right.
I was like,
I
oh,
got some respect for him. I got some respect for
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And like he's really good. So yeah. Anyway, I've been loving the NFL, and as we're recording this, the Chiefs play tonight. If they win, they make it to the
They
next
play
round and all
tonight.
that. If they
Oh,
lose, they're out.
I might
But
watch.
ooh,
Cause now you
yeah,
kind of want
watch
me
with
to.
me. Text with me.
Taylor's gonna be there.
Taylor's gonna be
Because
there.
honestly, I love football. I don't. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop right there. I don't love football. If I did love
Uh-huh.
football, I would watch it more. I like football. I think it's really cool. I like how that's America's sport. It's really
Yeah.
cool. There's a lot of strategy involved, a lot of physicality. But I always really just watch the Super Bowl. No,
Mm,
I watch some because my team is the Commanders. Like locally, that's my team.
right.
So me and my sister watched some Commanders games in like the fall, but they suck.
Uh-huh.
So we kind of just
Yeah.
I kind of stopped watching, and obviously they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I that's the thing though. I have to be with someone else to watch football. I don't watch football by myself. I have to be
Girl,
with someone
watch with
else.
me tonight. Oh my God, that'd be so
Maybe I
fun.
will. I'll tell you what though, the best time I ever
Yeah.
had watching football was with a bunch of college friends, and we were like buzzed up
Hmm.
on beer or something. That was peak. That was peak football.
Oh,
It was
I
like
bet.
I
Oh
think
my
it was like
gosh.
Dallas versus what's that? The Patriots. I think it was Dallas versus the Patriots.
Mm.
It was like close game too. It was good. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, football's cool.
Nice.
So that's a cool fixation
Yeah.
to have.
Yeah. It's like my Sundays haven't really changed. I'm still watching sports.
That's fun.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell
It's
you
like
what
nice.
though. I was watching like a Smash tournament the other weekend, and I was getting the same feeling. The problem is
Mhm.
like Super Smash Brothers, if you don't know what Smash is, it's a Nintendo fighting game. But the problem with that is they take too long. They take like 8 hours a day. It's too long. Like it was ending at like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, dude, I have to go to work tomorrow. It was so annoying.
Was it a big event?
No, yeah,
Or
it was a
just
big major. It was a big major event. Which like I
okay.
get it,
Okay.
but like no, this takes too long, it runs too late. I'm sorry. You gotta
Right.
find a way to make it go faster.
Well, let me tell you, that is exactly what you and I think about the Chili Bowl Nationals. You got
Oh,
to make it go faster,
literally the
and it takes
exact
too
same
long.
point. Who is staying up? At least it's on a Saturday night, right? But like, who is staying up
Yeah.
till 1 a.m. to watch a bunch of dirt cars go in circles? That was so rude. That was so rude to say. That was so disrespectful.
That's rude.
That was
But
disrespectful.
the thing is it's a week-long event, right? We've talked about the Chili
Yeah,
Bowl
y'all
several
had
times
all week
before.
to get this done, and then you're still taking like all night. Like, what is going
But
on?
so
Yeah.
this year it ended at 9:40 p.m. local time, which that's I believe Matt Weaver tweeted this out. It was the first time it's not finishing after midnight in well over a decade.
That's good.
That's not good. But but the thing is, Zach, is like you and I talked about this that night. Is like now it's inconsistent because you're probably going to get a whole bunch of people looking for it online to watch at like 11 p.m. when the race is over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because not everyone is on Twitter, not everyone's on Facebook watching all the updates come in. There's like, okay, the race is about to start. Let me turn it on. And then it's like, it's over. And in like the past 10 years, it's over at like 1 a.m.
Right.
You know what I mean? It,
And
I don't know.
I don't
And
like the people on Twitter that are like, well, the Chili Bowl is not about appeasing to the masses and appeasing to
if they want to grow it,
yeah. So like also like why do it then if you don't want people to watch it? Like there's no gray area with that. Either you want people to watch your race or you don't. Like sorry. I'm just
see,
if
and
you're
I used to watch the Chili Bowl every year, like try to, because it felt like a marquee event
yeah.
of the year. Like
It's the
not
Indy
like to the
500
level
of
of the
dirt
Indy
racing, right?
500. Yeah. It's not like to the level of Indy, Daytona, etc. But it felt like that series Indy 500. It's like I would always watch the Rolex 24 before I got heavily into IMSA. It's kind of like that. I would always watch the Chili Bowl. But then Kyle Larson stopped running it. Larson actually tried making it. He decided very late he was going to race it, but then he crashed and didn't make it far into the event. But I just struggle to care really because one, it's always late. Two, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson aren't in the main, and it's like I don't really
But yeah, there's no
know
star
the guys racing.
power.
Like yeah, and it's like I know of the names, because Kevin Swindell, who won the Chili Bowl, I believe 3 or 4 times, he owns team that won was Logan Seavey, who just went back to
Yeah,
back.
I know his name. Yeah, I know him because he won
Yeah,
last year. Yeah.
yeah. And it's like I know Tanner Thorson, that's another name, and it's like honestly, huge compliments to Matt Weaver. I feel like if you aren't a diehard dirt fan, you know who any of these people are that race the Chili Bowl unless you follow Matt Weaver on social media.
And I think it's a little weird to claim it as the Indy 500 of dirt racing without modernizing like how to watch it.
Oh yeah, it needs modernizing.
I get that it's dirt racing, and dirt racing is still just hasn't really broken through that barrier where like NASCAR and IndyCar are and stuff. But still, I don't know.
Well, and it's pay-per-view. Like you can't even. Which like I get it. It's hard to get on like NBC, Fox, or whatever. But like.
But that's not even
on a
the
streaming app.
Yeah, like that's not even the point. Like it's just I don't know. There's got to be a better way. Because at the end of the day, I didn't watch it because it would have been too hard to figure out how to watch it, and I had no interest. So.
And I'll be honest, I would find someone streaming it on Twitch, and I would watch it there every year.
Oh yeah.
Like this year, I just didn't find. I just didn't watch one. Yeah. So
because also then going back to your point. When do you like when is that race gonna when is the main event happening too? Like because it's like when do I look it up? So it's a whole can of worms.
Shout out to Cassie Fambro, who was in both our replies saying like, well, they got to get through all the alphabet soup and everything like that. But
y'all got all week. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but y'all got all week.
And I think Cassie knows way more about it than you and I do.
Yeah.
But I think my argument back would be. It's like, but the main event needs to be the main event.
Yeah, it's a main event.
I think that needs to have its own day. So they need to shorten the rest of the week. I don't know how you do that.
Or at least give some
how you do it.
Good buffer. Give some buffer between the B main and the A main. No? Like
Yeah. But the thing is they have several A mains too to make it to the main event. It's really confusing to me. And I grew up on dirt racing and there's several A mains. I don't understand why they're doing it the way they do.
You lost me there. There's several A mains. Okay, y'all lost me there. I'm sorry. NASCAR fan here. I have no idea what's going on. I surrender. What? Last time I checked, there's one A in the alphabet. So whatever.
Yeah.
Is it like capital A and lowercase A? Like I don't know. The Roman numeral, the like the Greek A, alpha, the alpha main.
And I don't know, but if you want to know more about the Chili Bowl, Matt Weaver, once again, did a great article about it. I've read all about it. See, now you can see Zack laughing.
I'm so rude. Matt. I said I don't care. To be honest, we don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care about no Chili Bowl. If I want some chili, I'm going to make some right now. I don't want no chili.
If you do care, check out Matt Weaver's stuff. He's great. He knows all about it.
Love him.
Me too. Let's move on. Something you and I know more about. NASCAR, they announced their TV deal in the offseason for 2025 through 2031. And it's interesting.
I don't know if it's a step forward or a step back. I don't know. It's a step to the side.
Yeah, it really is a step to the side.
It's a step to the side.
So let's just go through what the Cup Series schedule is going to be like for the TV schedule. We don't know the tracks, obviously, for 2025, not this year. So Fox
this is
back,
just for the
has
Cup
the
Series
first 14
right
races.
This is for the Cup Series right now. Yep.
Then Amazon will have the first 5 races after Fox. TNT is back. They'll have the next 5. And we'll get more into like streaming and stuff in a minute. And then NBC has the playoffs and the 4 races before it, so the last 14.
Yeah. So Fox went from having 16 races to just the first 14 races. NBC shortened from what? They were doing 20 to now 14, and then Amazon and TNT pick up what they left off in the middle.
And if you didn't know, the CW has the whole Xfinity Series schedule that's exclusive to the CW, and the Truck Series is still on FS1. Which I think that's the biggest L.
Yikes. That is such an flop. That is a flop. That's bad. No one's going to be watching the Truck Series. I'm sorry.
I was hoping and praying that the trucks would get picked up by NBC because they'd be paying less, I would think, by losing all those races for Cup, but
or at this point, I almost wonder if the Truck Series would benefit from having like a split schedule among multiple.
Maybe.
I don't know at this point, because it's like,
I don't know.
I feel like if you give it to one broadcaster, they're just not gonna care for the whole season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You need to make it like, oh, we have a truck race. Like, let's make this a big deal. And, like, you know.
Yeah. I will say, I think Fox having 2 other networks separate them from NBC is going to help Fox, because Fox can be goofier. Like, they can stay goofy, but because then it'll get more serious as we go on. We're not going from ha 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 to playoffs. You know, it's not like a
literally at Nashville. It's just like the playoffs. Here's the cut line. Rah! Like
yeah. Literally. So I think Fox having Amazon and TNT in the middle is actually going to make their broadcast more tolerable. Maybe that's just me, because we're not going to go from giggling and all this to serious business right away. So
and they still Fox still has the Daytona 500, but they're not going to have the Coke 600 anymore, which is going to be weird. Seemingly, I guess that's not confirmed, or is it confirmed? I don't know. But
so in an article by The Athletic, they made it. It's not confirmed, but it's speculated, and it lines up with the current schedule that the Coca-Cola 600 would be on Amazon. That would kick off Amazon's schedule. And then Chicago Street Race would kick off TNT. So like each network gets their own marquee race. So NBC would get the championship race, and I assume the Southern 500.
Yeah. That's gonna be so weird though. It's gonna be so weird. Maybe the
biggest day in racing, Memorial Day weekend. One of those races is gonna be on streaming.
But people are gonna hate that. People are going to hate that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
I mean, this isn't confirmed, but that is what that kind of sounds like is going to happen. That way each network is kind of treated equally and they all get a big race. I don't know. Like, I think the big one's a 600. Like, that's definitely the big one, I think. I think TNT can get away with that being in Chicago. I'm surprised NBC let that go. But I guess, would Brickyard 400 be NBC's first race?
I don't even know, because it's like, I think that might be, I think so. I think it would be. Or maybe it's TNT's last race. I don't know, it's close.
Something like that.
But yeah, that's interesting. I think we'll have to see. It depends on the quality. I think it really does depend on the quality of Amazon and TNT. Because if the quality is really good, I think it's a positive net change. If it's not good, though, I don't know. And also depends, like, Amazon's reach. Like, if a lot of people are watching NASCAR now because of Amazon, it's on Amazon for 5 races, and hey, that's a net gain. But I don't know. It's something that we just kind of have to wait for. And then, Xfinity being on CW. Well, and another issue that people pointed out with this, as I mentioned, Xfinity being on CW, is now if you want to watch the national top 3 series of NASCAR, you have to find it on so many different channels. You have Fox, you have FS1, you have the CW, you have TNT, you have NBC and USA, I guess, right? And then what? Yeah. Amazon? Like, that's 7 channels-ish. Like, not ideal. Not ideal, but
yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with it because I get it.
I mean,
but like,
that's how it was.
Anyone over the age of like 50, they're gonna be struggling with the streaming part.
My dad every week had to ask me what channel the race was on. It was so annoying because I'm like, why can't you just look it up? It's not that hard. But now I get it.
My grandma does that too. My great grandparents do that. Yeah, it's.
Because at least like with how it was, you just check Fox or FS1, and then once it gets to a point in the season, you check NBC or USA. Now it switches like 3 times. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is what it is.
And I will say, now that I've been watching the NFL, they have Fox, CBS, NBC, ESPN, and Amazon. They have 5 of them.
Yeah,
and
I feel like that's different.
It is different, but it's like other series are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Because I feel like NASCAR fans aren't gonna.
You have to look up your game anyway, so it's like different. But the NASCAR race is one thing, like a week. So I don't know. we'll have to see. But again, it's something that we just have to see.
When that schedule drops, that's gonna be so interesting.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't drop the 2024 schedule till really late.
I wonder if really Fox is gonna try to keep the 600. I feel like they will.
They might.
I don't know how the calendar works with that. So.
But I feel like in these agreements, they may have already agreed on what races, like marquee events they get. It might be already in their contract.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
Signed. Who knows?
Probably.
But streaming wise, Amazon Prime Video, which is all streaming, they'll have the 5 races. They're also going to stream practice and qualifying for the Fox races,
Amazon,
as well as the Amazon races. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them talking about that. That's so interesting to me. So
yeah. And I like that because Fox doesn't really have a streamer. I wish Fox would simulcast or onto Amazon. I wish that would happen, but I don't think that's happening. Did you have a comment, Zach?
No.
Okay. And then Max, HBO Max formerly, and True TV are going to stream practice and qualifying for TNT and NBC races. So no Peacock, but Max is going to be streaming practice qualifying for TNT and NBC races.
So now I have to get that. That's a little annoying, but it'll be all right.
I know. I don't have. We can share unless they like. I want to watch Netflix
Euphoria.
Does.
I've always wanted to watch Euphoria. That's on HBO Max.
Me too.
Okay.
You know what? That show's
Jacob
messy.
Jacob Elordi's in it.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. This is gonna be actually. Thank you, NASCAR. You gave me a reason to get HBO Max. Hey.
But yeah, that's gonna be very, very interesting. Couple more things here. Stewart-Haas Racing.
Good lord.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, okay, let's start with some positives. They rebranded. They did. They have a new logo. I love their new logo and their new graphics. They have this black and white plus baby blue color scheme. I love it. I love it because they've always had that baby blue in their logo, but it kind of felt awkward and they had a weird kind of font. But now it's a lot more modernized. It looks really cool.
Their old logo is getting really outdated.
I didn't like their old logo at all. It just wasn't really. It didn't scream race team. This screams race team. However, they're screaming a little bit too much. They got a new logo and all of a sudden they think they big and bad because they are out here on Twitter tweeting like me. And that's not good.
Like you.
They're tweeting like me. They got all the confidence in the world. Alex, what are some of the things that they're saying?
Well, they're like doing like videos with like Tony Stewart sitting down, and it's just like we're gonna prove the haters. We're gonna prove the haters and the doubters wrong. We're gonna do this. Like and then there's like a hype video of like all of Kevin Harvick's wins because like 90% of their wins are Kevin Harvick. It's like at Stewart-Haas Racing, we win. We do this. It's like
we do all of this, even
Harvick though retired.
Yeah, you lost the reason you were able to do all that. To be honest,
and they just came off their worst season on record by far. What are they talking about?
I get. So you go ahead.
This campaign. Sorry, Zach. This campaign. They should do this after they have a really good season, after everyone doubted them going into a season. If they did this and then all 4 of their cars make the playoffs and they have like 5 wins total, maybe, then they could do this campaign, I think, because everyone says like none of them are going to make the playoffs. They're all going to be running like in the mid-20s or even 30s. No wins, whatever. Then they do this campaign. I think that'd be nice. I think it's a little cheesy still, but I get it. Yeah. This... You have nothing to show for what you're talking about.
They have zero momentum. Negative momentum, even.
Like, Eric Almirola retired, by the way.
They lost...
Their most experienced driver is Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, they lost half their roster. Kevin Harvick. They lost Kevin Harvick. They have Noah Gragson, who is one of the worst drivers in the Cup Series.
He was terrible in the 42.
He was terrible. I don't care
if the Carson Hocevar gets in there and starts running like 5th.
And then Josh Berry, limited experience. Chase Briscoe somehow was like the slowest SHR dude last year, which doesn't make sense to me.
Like every week. He was running like slower than the wear cars half the time.
Oh my God. Like there's just... And so I understand them rebranding. I understand them trying to open this year with like a, hey, no, we can do this. We are good. I just think the way they worded things, especially when they're hiring someone like Noah Gragson, who had to apologize for some things that he did, right? Saying that you are unapologetic is just, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right wording that you should use.
It's weird. So let me just say, this might be a controversial opinion, but like I think Noah Gragson deserved a second chance, and I'm glad he's getting it. He went through the whole program, but
Kyle Larson fan here. Yeah, I agree. So
yeah. But it's like, was no one else available? Like, I'm sorry. I think Noah Gragson is talented.
They were looking.
But
they were looking really hard. Or were they? I don't know.
Like, seriously.
No, Alex.
No one else?
They were
because he was terrible in the 42.
They were salty that they missed out on Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch. They're like, no, we're not going to miss out on this time. We're going to get this. We're going to get this guy. And it's Noah Gragson. Like, who cares? No one else is trying to get him.
I mean, he was available. I mean...
And so I tweeted.
I don't know.
This got a lot of attention. I tweeted about SHR when they made that initial tweet on New Year's Day. I said, this is unnecessary pressure to put on your own organization that has negative momentum. The whole issue with this
is not so well.
It's not that they're rebranding. Thank you. It's not that they're rebranding. It's not that they're like kind of sparking some energy back into them. It's that they did it in a way that's setting themselves up to look even worse.
Yes.
They have zero expectations, and I think they need to keep it that way. I didn't think I just think the way they had too much attitude. And I get that, Tony Stewart, like they have smoke rises in the banner. Like they're using a lot of Tony Stewart in their branding, but I don't know if you need to use that Tony Stewart type of attitude. I just don't know. They're setting themselves up to get clowned. That's what's going to happen if they open this first couple of weeks and they're still running outside the top 20. So, we'll see though.
Because what's the first regular race of the year? Because it goes Daytona, Atlanta. Is it like Vegas?
I think it's Vegas. Yeah.
So if at Vegas and they're all running like 20th or worse, they're gonna get clowned on social media.
Yeah.
And like they're gonna be like, well, we're gonna prove the haters wrong. It's like, well, you just gave the haters more ammunition. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's so. I don't know. I don't blame the social media team. This was probably a higher up decision. Yeah, that's but this is just so.
Yeah. They're not far off. I think, like looking back on it, they're not that far off from what they need to be doing. But still, it's just cringe. It's cringe.
Like I said, this campaign, and they all make the playoffs and get wins. This would be a compelling campaign, I think, because it's like we proved you all wrong, but like they're doing it while they haven't proved anything. That's my problem with it. It's weird.
It is very weird.
Something else that's pretty weird is this is our last main topic here. IndyCar, they had a pretty bad offseason.
I have not been following IndyCar much, so you're gonna fill me in on what the heck's going on.
People were acting like the series was gonna die in like 2 years.
Okay, that's dramatic.
I think it's a bit dramatic, but I get it. So let's just get into it.
But if any series is
hybrid,
go ahead.
Hybrid components have been delayed to after this year's Indianapolis 500. They were supposed to start the season opener. I'm gonna assume everyone's kind of saying this that it's probably gonna be even later. Probably not even next year.
I don't want to start it in the middle of the year. I would just delay it to next year. Why would you start it in the middle of the year? Like imagine F1 doing that. They would never.
Yeah,
that's weird.
And Alex Rossi said on his podcast, Hinch and Rossi, that if they were to start the hybrids at St. Pete, that he thought no one would finish the race because they're just not ready at all. And it's like they're just not.
Finish. Well, in that case, I mean, I'm glad because it's like a thing that NASCAR likes to do where they do like Bristol Dirt. They did Bristol Dirt when they weren't ready for it. I'm glad IndyCar is not doing that when they're not ready for it. They're not ready for hybrids, so they're not doing hybrids. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like personally, when I saw that, I was like, okay. Like I know we've had this car for 12 years. This is year 12 of the DW12.
I guess so.
They do need a new car, I think, but like the racing's still solid.
Yeah.
So I get it.
It's like the Xfinity car. Like just because it's old and like it's an old design doesn't mean it's bad. Don't make it worse. Don't fix what's not broken. But
especially with how far safety has come since this car was introduced. I don't know. Like, I feel like if you go too far and like rush it, then you're just going to be asking for trouble, whether that's performance or safety reasons, etc. But then this came out, I think literally like a week later. This came out. This all came out in December, I believe. This from Racer.com that Honda is threatening to leave IndyCar after 2026 due to a lack of return on investment. Meaning like all the effort they put into it, they're not really getting
Yeah.
like money back. And then IndyCar, not really well known. So
Yeah.
like anything they put into it, no one really knows about. Uh, and they're also going to be joining F1 in 2026, if I recall correctly. So
That's a big hit.
Not great.
That's half your manufacturers. That's not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
So that came out.
Like the hybrid getting delayed is whatever to me, but like a Honda threatening to leave, that's not good. That's really not good.
And Honda is like a big proponent of being hybrids.
Right. Which makes sense.
So that when I saw that, my eyebrows raised and everything, but I was like, are they just saying that? Are they just saying that to like get things to go their way? Is it like a negotiating tactic? Or is it like legit? Like this is like someone like leaked this to the media or told the media, reported on it to the media probably, right? So it's just like how fully true is it? Are they actually, or is this like a bargaining thing? I don't know. But if they were to leave, that's half your field. And then you just have Chevrolet, and Chevrolet, I doubt would want to field 30, 28 cars every week, let alone 33 plus for the Indy 500, attempting to make the Indy 500. Because right now they're already like, we can't do more than like 18. So, not good.
Not good. Not good. Well, there is something that's good that happened with IndyCar. Now, it's not like taking a step forward. It's like climbing out of the hole that they dug. So they climbed out of the hole. Yeah. So iRacing and IndyCar have reached a new agreement because if you remember, it got to a point because IndyCar had a deal with Motorsports Games, right?
Yeah, they signed exclusivity with Motorsport Games.
Dumb. That's the dumbest thing you could ever do. Obviously because the game got canceled. But now, and you couldn't stream IndyCar on iRacing. Like, you couldn't stream it on Twitch or whatever, like, at all. It was bad. But now, that's all kind of gone. It's normal again, right? So, yay. Cool. Yep. Yay.
Like,
back to normal.
That's how it never should have changed.
It's like again, like, they just climbed out of the hole that they dug. So, we're back to net zero with that, and then negative on everything else. So,
so it was like hybrid thing announced, so they were already digging the hole with the iRacing thing.
Yeah.
And then hybrids happened. And then another like an anvil hit him in the head with the Honda thing. Then they just dug them. They're like still in the hole, but they're still trying to climb out.
So what's the vibe with IndyCar right now? Because I feel like IndyCar was having such a renaissance a few years ago.
It was.
And now it's just like not the like it's, what tech like, stuff like Texas being taken off the schedule in general. Yeah. It's just there's not a lot of good energy going in with IndyCar this season, and it's kind of sad.
And IndyCar social media is using AI a lot, which annoys the hell out of me too.
They are,
and that's like their main content. I don't know.
What?
The marketing social on IndyCar side is still rough. It was a little better last year, but then they started using AI toward the end of last year, early this year.
Like, is it on Twitter? Like, their Twitter, or
is it
just like
Twitter, Instagram? You might find more on Instagram because that's all pictures. Okay. But I don't know.
Oh, I feel like I remember, like the like those like yearbook like photo things. Yeah, I remember those.
See. And like that was like a trend, and like F1 did it, NASCAR probably did it somewhere. Yeah. I don't remember that, but it's like IndyCar did it like 3 times.
Yeah,
and I was just like, okay.
Oh, I see the Santa Claus stuff, or is that actually Photoshop? I don't know. That kind of looks AI to me. That's AI.
I digress. There's just very little promotion. Joseph Newgarden, an American, won the Indianapolis 500, and he wasn't on a single big show. Right?
That's
like horrible. I know David. When David Letterman did his show, he would bring them on, but like you have a deal with NBC. Get Joseph Newgarden
on the
Today Show, on Jimmy Fallon. Seth Meyers. Like, I don't care. Get
Saturday
him
Night
on.
Live.
Joseph Newgarden would be the perfect SNL host. He would kill it.
Yeah.
Like, come on. This missed
But
opportunity.
no
Or
one
just have
knows
him
who
show up
Joseph
like in a
Newgarden
skit.
is. No one knows who he is because y'all don't promote your sport. Sorry.
Yeah.
Half the time I don't know who the SNL host is. It's always some random like person from a show or a movie that like everyone watches, but like I don't care.
So frustrating. Like, come on, man.
It's
And I think NBC does a good job. And like NBC's TV contract, I believe, ends
Oh,
after this year.
that could be like that could be bad depending on how that goes. That could be really bad.
Yeah.
Like if they get put on some
Yeah.
like if they get put on HBO Max, it's over. Who's gonna
Well,
watch IndyCar?
well, remember they did that ripoff of Drive to Survive on the CW.
Oh my
CW,
god.
they might be on the CW. They had those talks with CBS. Then it's like, are they going to be a Paramount Plus only thing?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of. I don't think they can get better than NBC. There's just a lot of concerns I have with IndyCar right now. The vibes have been off. NASCAR, the vibes are going up.
The
Like, I know
vibes are
Fox
up.
Sports
Stock
annoys
is
me,
up.
but like, I don't know.
I don't know. It's
I
making
feel like
it
IndyCar, it's back for me at least. I still love it dearly, but its highlight is back to just being the Indy 500. Full season
it is.
isn't as spectacular.
It is
And you also had
100%.
Alex Palou and all that legal drama.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't helpful. Like I don't know. The
Yeah.
vibes aren't there right
But
now.
now Alex Palou is standing on business on Twitter or articles, whatever.
God.
It's like, who can I make
Yeah.
mad today? Pato Award. Yep, I'll make him mad. Or wait, no, that was that Pato talking about Alex? Or no, that was Alex talking about Pato. Because he said he was waiting on someone to get injured.
So there was a lot of discussion about that this morning about that. Palou said that he didn't stay with McLaren because he didn't want to wait around for someone to get injured. Pato can go ahead and do that is kind of what he said. But
Standing
people
on
were
business.
people are exaggerating what he said because like Pato's the F1 reserve driver, which Palou was until he breached his contract. I still think it's crazy he brought up Pato in general. I don't think the way I don't know. Maybe if I heard the audio of how he said it, maybe then
I
I'd be
don't
like,
know. It
oh,
sounds
he
like he
wasn't.
said his name. It's cut and dry. He said his name. Pato gonna walk up to him at St. Pete. Why you got my name in your mouth? Huh?
For real.
For real. All right.
Yeah.
See you out on the track. All right.
And you know what? They'll both be in the Rolex.
IndyCar. Alex, IndyCar needs this drama. IndyCar needs this drama.
They do.
Wait, they're both gonna be in the Rolex?
They are.
Shut up. What class?
Ooh. I think Palou's with Ganassi in the 02 or the 01.
Oh, in DPI. And then is Pato in? I feel like Pato's in LMP2.
GTP. It's called GTP, Zach, not DPI.
Did I? Oops! I'm a fake fan. I'm sorry, Avery. I'm sorry. Avery just cringed. Our friend Avery just cringed. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm such a fake fan. Oh my god.
Because IMSA.com hasn't updated probably,
That's
so
true.
probably says DPI on there.
DP. It probably. Why is it called GT? That annoys me. GTP.
But
I already got enough GT classes. Jesus.
I don't think Pato's in GTP.
I think he's
probably in one of the other ones. Probably LMP2. Joseph Newgarden's in GTP for Penske Porsche.
Penske Porsche.
I can't wait.
That's my favorite team name to say. Penske Porsche.
Yes. Oh. The alliteration is just
like
poppin'.
That makes me. If you're watching the
Love
video, it makes me go like this: Penske, perfect Penske Porsche.
Penske Porsche.
You know,
love
that's
it.
just how we roll.
So yeah, next week we'll talk about the Rolex 24. Before we get to our conclusions, or anything else you want to mention, Zach?
I don't think so. We had a good discussion about IndyCar, Stewart-Haas Racing, and that's really all the big off-season news. Besides, I mean, obviously, you know, Noah Gragson going to SHR, and we already talked about him, and nothing else really happened with silly season except Matt DiBenedetto announced he still doesn't have plans, right?
That man tweeted a pin emoji, and then nothing happened.
He was writing. He was just writing a journal entry. He was writing a journal entry. That's all he was doing. Oh no, he was signing a receipt. He was just signing a receipt. Jesus.
Oh,
that poor man.
Poor
no,
Matt.
Not poor man. I don't. Harrison Burton's peak. Harrison Burton This is what, his third year in the 21, so he's like matched Matt Benedetto with seasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
I hope this is the year Harry gets a win. It'd make me so happy.
Yeah.
Even
Nice.
for Talladega.
I don't care. But I'll take anything with him at this point because he's. Yikes.
He probably needs to perform a little better this year.
Well, at least he got money.
Right.
At least he got money. I like a man with money.
True,
like
same.
That Dex money. That Dex money and that Ford money. I love that.
Well, that's it. We're going to conclude our first episode of 2024. Yeah. Thank you for listening or watching, or both. Maybe you decided to go back and watch the video when you heard for doing video. So, Zach, we have an Apple review that was posted on Apple.
Oh, my God.
Shortly after our Phoenix episode. Or maybe it was after our Taylor Kitchen episode. Would you like to read it?
Yeah, I will. I will read this. So it is from a user called What a Maroon. Thought I said what a moron. I thought that was the title of the review, and I thought they were calling us morons. So I'm like, why are we reading this? So What a Maroon says, quote, I am so stoked to find queer fans out here in NASCAR land. I just started listening a couple weeks ago, posted mid-November, so, like probably in October. And it was a tough choice, but Dale Jr. has to go.
Hi, Dale.
No way she's listening to us over Dale Jr. download. No way. The king has fallen. I'd rather listen to the two of you. I'm thrilled you are out here and look forward to the next season. Encouragement. Thank you so much. Over Dale Jr.
When I saw God. Over Dale Jr., I was kind of gagged a bit. I was like,
I'm gagged right now.
Dale Jr.
That's Dale MF and Jr. Oh my God.
Like, do you know who you're talking about?
You know who you're talking about? Would you say that to his face? Oh my God.
I listened to a couple gay guys over your podcast.
How short is your commute? Certainly you can listen to both of us, right? Like, no, but thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yeah. I was going to say Dale's episodes can be like 2 hours, but ours used to be.
Yeah.
Ours used to be like 2 hours.
That might be why. Maybe that's why. Yeah, maybe they're busy. They ain't got time. They ain't got time for all that. And we're funnier than DBC.
You. True. That's so true.
Well, maybe they don't have time because they listen to Denny Hamlin. They still listen to Denny Hamlin and Jeff Gluck. And so we're probably...
They got to listen to Denny Hamlin yap about getting penalized.
Yeah.
And then they got to listen to
Jordan Bianchi yap about something random. Yeah.
True.
I'm excited to see what Jeff Gluck's going to be wearing at the 500.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I just
forgot about that.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Well, so we are going to be watching the Rolex 24 next week. We're going to be back to talk about that and anything else that drops. We're going to look forward to the Clash because the Clash is going to be coming up. So, we didn't even talk about like that whole drama with the tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Who cares?
Oh, well.
I don't.
It's already resolved.
Yeah.
But, so, y'all can follow us at Garrison Pod pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, Threads,
OnlyFans,
Blue Sky.
What?
I don't.
Huh? No, I'm just kidding.
Did you make an account?
No.
You make an account on there?
Not yet.
If money gets too tight.
Gay Racing Pod in 2025. So we started an OnlyFans.
No one did the Patreon, so we're on there now.
So new strategy. We are going to be unapologetic. Smoke will rise.
You can find the YouTube link in the description because I don't think it'll show up if you search it right now, but it will be there. It'll be on our social media too, so it'll all be linked there. Patreon, you can support us for $5 a month, and we'd really appreciate that because groceries are expensive.
Groceries are expensive, and we gotta eat. And again, I gotta shave my beard. I gotta get new razors. So
yeah, I need haircuts are expensive too. I know my hair ain't too long.
My headphones are starting to fall apart. Like, ugh, girl.
Yeah.
I'm just
it's rough out here.
It's rough out here, man. Oh my God.
Like, Zack needs to be able to buy Splatoon 4 when that's announced in like a year or two.
Guys, I spent like $1,000 on collectibles. How help me budget my money? What am I doing?
but for real, if you want to do that, we really appreciate it. And I'll let Zach take us home.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, follow us on all social media. We will see you guys next time to talk about the Rolex 24 and look at the Clash. Bye-bye. Stay safe, and see you guys next time. Bye. And we'll actually see them next time. So, or they'll see us.